Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. I'm your host, Mark. We got a fun Tyranid episode for you here. I got thrown off here because my banner didn't go down. I was staring at the Lorehammer logo and not the three faces now. Yo, Fishy, what's good?
How are we doing, guys?
Excited to have you. Yeah, my face is still recovering from that Dark Eldar episode we recorded. It's still pulled back tight.
Yeah.
Still fantasizing about nipple belts and stuff.
Oh, don't. I mean, I did try. I did try and recreate one earlier this week, but I just didn't have enough nipples lying around. So.
Yeah. So it's more like a bracelet than a belt. That's fine.
Yeah. It'll do for now.
It'll do for now. And we also got. We also got Hottie joining us. You've called in before, but this is your first guest appearance. Welcome.
Yeah, it is. I can't decide if it's my internet or what. That's a little bit slow, but like I'm trying my best, like on a laptop, because my PC's at home and I have fast internet at home. So I've closed like all my background tabs. First world problem.
Yeah, no, all good. We love the online struggle through. We'll get through it. But yeah, this episode's going to be about Tyranids. I'm excited for this one. It's one of these episodes I kind of stumbled across accidentally. It's not like some major, it's not like a Primarch or even like a named character that you know about. But with Tyranids, it's kind of like they evolve and adapt and they get all these new species and all these new branches and lines and stuff. So we're going to go down one of these different branches and explore all these forgotten and maybe useless, maybe too dangerous, maybe it only had a use for a day, all these different species that the Tyranids have come up with. It kind of is a throwback to like 2000s when there's a little more creativity in GW. Maybe not creativity, but like customness. Like we're going to go through
creative freedom, I think, is the corporate word for it.
Yeah. Like we're going to go through, they had like this white dwarf challenge or whatever, and the GW employees, there's like 6 or 7 of them, were challenged to make some Tyranids, and this is kind of what they came up with. So they're like, what bits do you have lying around? Slap them together and we'll make some Tyranids. So it's kind of like very kind of quirky and creative, but they actually still makes it into the canon, so it's kind of fun that way.
It's the best thing.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like,
sorry, for me, it's just that kind of creativity. Just here's a blank canvas. Go wild. It's great.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd love to, you know what I'd love to see from GW. GW, if you're listening, please don't sue me. But I'd love for them to, you know how like they send early access stuff to people at El Miniaturista and stuff like that to paint and say, hey, look, we've got this coming out in a couple of weeks. We need some decent art for it. I'd love it if they did something similar, but with kit bashers. So, you know, like you got the Bits Basher. I think he's actually Canadian, so I don't know if you've heard of him, but the Bits Basher, he's known for doing like the mega banes that are like, and I mean a bane blade is a pretty big, like, I don't know, it's a good 8-9 inches long, and he'll combine 4 of them into this monstrous fortress. I'd love to see them go, hey, these are our new boxes. Say, for example, with Tyranids, here's our new Carnifex. Here's a load of Tyranid bits. What can you do? And I think I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like, can you imagine like how many more sculpts we'd get that are, because like I understand why we have a tactical rock for the model to stand on it. You know, it's just to give it a bit more of a dynamic pose, but like, tactical rocks are so overused now. I'd be like, I want to see a dude like standing on top of a Titan's head or something. You know what I mean? And that'd be like his official size.
That'd be a big boy. Yeah, that'd be a big face. I like that. Like back in the day, they definitely had more of these kind of creative events. I went to this one massive con, and they had like, I forget what it was called, but it was basically like looted vehicle race track or whatever. They basically dumped out like, here's some orc sprues for vehicles, here's some Cadian sprues, here's a bunch of different sprues for just vehicles. So bash up together whatever vehicle you're going to drive and then they would come out with this like race. They had this race track built or whatever, and they had this little mini game where you're racing around with this new like little thing.
Nice.
And yeah, I know the winner of that got put in, and it is like an official creation or whatever. And GW definitely was way more willing to do that back in the day than now, where it's like everything's more standardized, formalized, and all that. But you still get some.
Do you remember
cool stuff?
Do you remember looted Lehman Russes?
Yeah, I think that might have come from that, honestly.
Yeah,
like those kind of race days or whatever they had. I forget what they called it. So long ago.
But I think like the idea of like, for example, gene stealers and orcs, these are like too cannibalistic. You know, they'll just grab anything and turn it into whatever. Like, bring them back. That'd be so cool. Like, if I can rock up with an army of just, I don't know, just like a half mangled knight, and it's like, oh yeah, it's my gene stealer knight. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
You can.
But it's well, yeah. No, I'm gonna kit bash one anyway. But like, you know what I mean? Like, for there to be rules for it. So you know,
yeah.
Because of the whole allied thing now, with where you're allying knights, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I think it is as. I think it's like a catch-22. Like, obviously nowadays they've got shareholders that they answer to, and they've got machining that they need to obviously make it standard so that they can pump out the quantity, because like, you know, Henry Cavill and people like that have brought so much more to the hobby in the way of like, they brought more people in. Like when I was a kid playing it, it was only for the nerds and the weirdos. Like now you've got like, you know, hot guys like Henry Cavill playing it, so they've got a bigger audience, but as a result they need everything to be standardized. So like the creativity is kind of put on the altar of that a little bit.
Yeah, and like especially when they wanted to go and do tournament scenes and go hard into that area, which GW's done for a long time, where they're trying to actually make like a playable game, which they always suck at, but they try. But yeah, I guess, you know, this episode we're gonna be going down kind of memory lane and just go into some of these random Tyranid creatures. Come join the Patreon, come join the live stream if you want. Do all that kind of fun stuff, but let's just dive into it. We got a lot of creatures to cover, so let's kind of start with just kind of give you some context for Tyranids, kind of lay a little base, and then we'll get into them.
Yeah, sure.
So I just want to quickly just take issue. Hot guys like Henry Cavill now playing. I've been playing for a few years now.
Look, I used to have a 6-pack when I was 21, but also I didn't play Warhammer when I was 21. I played it before I got a 6-pack and after I lost my 6-pack. So, like, make of that what you will.
I had a 6-pack, then I cracked open a can, and now I have a 5-pack. So it's all good. It's all good.
No, mine's just a keg. Mine's a keg now. Like
That's
years of bad decisions have built this body.
So we'll get into it. So the Tyranid species, to move away from alcoholism before we get Lawhammer Legal involved. The Tyranids are not a single species, but a vast and ever-changing collection of bioforms shaped by the needs of the Great Devourer. Every Hive Fleet carries countless organisms, from common battlefield creatures to bizarre and highly specialized predators found only on particular worlds. As the Tyranids consume new life, they absorb its genetic material, unlocking new biological possibilities and allowing the hive mind to create organisms suited to almost any environment or purpose. Some adaptations become permanent additions to the swarm, while others exist only for a single campaign. The longer the Tyranids feed, the greater the genetic library available to them becomes, ensuring that the creatures encountered by one world may bear little resemblance to those encountered by another. It's just the nids to their core, isn't it? Just adapt, overcome, evolve.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like you know, the perfect predator almost. You know, You land on a planet, that planet blows you up. So what do? You go, right, okay, you've blown us up, I don't know, with a nuclear weapon. Right, we're going to create something that's nuclear resistant. Okay, so now we've created something that's nuclear resistant. Oh, you've like electrocuted us. Fine, we'll create something that's like impervious to electric. Like, you cannot win a war of attrition with a Tyranid, because every time you beat them back, they'll just come back with something that goes, okay, your defenses worked last time, they won't this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just an organism that doesn't look like what has come before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they worked out nuclear worked against these things. Well, these other things have turned up and they devour you before you have a chance to realize, oh, they're actually the same Xenos.
Yeah. And like, you can kind of see, like, if you look at, say, a Carnifex, no, not a Carnifex. What's the big forearm guy? Like, Mark, on your screen, you've got him, the big guy towering on the. Yeah, so if you look at Hive Tyrant, he kind of looks like a gene stealer. And obviously, I know gene stealers are a whole new thing nowadays, but they never, obviously, back in the day, they were just the they were just the, like, you know, the fodder, the melee fodder. But you look at Hive Tyrant, you can see how a gene stealer looks like as the basis for that. So they've obviously gone, all right, these gene stealers aren't killing whatever we need. Let's make something bigger and badder. So, like, you can kind of see almost like an evolutionary process, and then they've gone, actually, this Hive Tyrant is pretty effective, right, making him a standard pattern.
Yeah. And the thing is, they are a species of infinite species, but then they have the hive mind that ties and binds and solidifies it all to keep it still going forward, and it has something like above itself, essentially, to make these decisions, like which strain actually is useful and is going to carry on. So it has that extra level where it's like, yeah, you got this extreme predator, and then it changes always.
Yeah.
So in theory, could I potentially turn around and use my Death Corps of Krieg army as Tyranids, simply stating that they are a form of Tyranid that have taken the form that just is effective in campaigning? They've just evolved to be like Kriegsmen.
Yeah,
that's what's under the mask.
The Tyranids, to some degree, have a shape that maintains itself. Like, Tyranids will have 6 limbs, and it will have a torso, a head, and a tail type situation. So it does have like some forms, but then it can get into smaller things. Like, we would talk about like flesh borers and stuff. Those tiny bugs that they shoot, do those have the same shape and stuff? Like, so yeah, maybe they are capable of making like that full humanoid identical. Like, you really can't tell.
How horrific would that be? You turn to your mate and it turns out he's just a Tyranid. Like, you fought 4 campaigns and survived all of them. He was your best buddy through basic training, and then all of a sudden he's a Nid and he's eating your face.
Nah. Let me step that up. Imagine it's your wedding day, and you lift the veil, and it's just a Tyranid face underneath, and you go, "Well, God damn it! This is why we need to take the gas mask off, people."
Oh man, yeah, you don't want that. Gene stealers are wild because they infiltrate, and they're generations of infiltration, but like also sometimes they have a third arm, so it's kind of like they get to a point eventually where they're like not you anymore. But let's talk a little bit more about Tyranids and Hive Fleets. Break it down a little bit more. There's so many different Tyranids, and then they all have their own fleets that they kind of become a part of, and
so every Hive Fleet is a distinctive expression of the Tyranid swarm, carrying its own collection of bioforms, adaptations, tactics, and biological tendencies. Some fleets specialize in overwhelming assaults, whilst others favor infiltration, ambushes, rapid consumption, or prolonged adaptation to hostile environments. Even their objectives can differ, shaped by the needs of the hive mind and the worlds they encounter. A creature common within one fleet may be rare or entirely absent within another, making every Hive Fleet a unique evolutionary arsenal.
Yeah, and we kind of have done how the hive mind works. We won't go too far back into it, but you can get these like isolated little tendrils of the hive mind that any information that they gain, they can't quite bring it back to the rest of the fleet. They got to like reconnect that tendril. And once they do, then the whole fleet gets access to it again. But yeah, every now and again, you get these little isolated guys, or like, or scouts is another big thing. The Tyranids have sent scouts into the Milky Way galaxy, like at M32, way before they appeared in full force. Stuff like that.
I love the sort of 3D map you see, where you can see like fingers almost descending above to the side and like beyond from the dark space between galaxies, sort of encroaching on the Milky Way. And like it's it's all these different tendrils. Like, imagine you're on a planet and you're nowhere near the Hive Fleet, and then all of a sudden this tendril comes at you, like, what the hell? Why? Like, I'm nowhere near it. I thought I was safe, but it actually probably has saved like Chaos, the Imperium, all the little empires, because if the Hive Fleet was just one unified force, you got no chance. Whereas at least with it breaking up, you're sort of like, that's perhaps the only way you can sort of chip away at it. So having all these different tendrils, as devastating as they are, it's actually more of a saving grace, really.
You can like take advantage of it. Yeah, take advantage of it to some degree. Cut stuff off, starve different sections. Yeah, it's terrifying when you look at those maps. Like if you're actually in 40K and you've seen one of these like maps, and you're like, wait, and that's not just like a drawing of these tentacles. It's actually that size. Yeah, not good. So the other crazy thing about Tyranids, as we mentioned, they evolve and create all these different lines. So Tyranid evolution is brutally adaptable, with the hive mind constantly testing new forms against the environments and enemies it encounters. Yet not every successful mutation becomes a permanent species. Bioforms that prove ineffective may disappear from active use, while the genetic useful traits can be preserved within the hive mind's vast genetic reserves until they are required again. Some organisms may therefore vanish for thousands of years before the genetic patterns are revived, altered, and unleashed once more in the form better suited to the next world the Great Devourer encounters. Yeah, that's kind of wild to think how much like genetic data they have stored, and if it's to be believed, they already have done this to a galaxy or two.
Yeah, it's crazy, and just the idea of taking a pattern, storing it for 10,000 years. It's like, I've got just the thing for that. Suddenly a Hive Fleet is destroyed. Do you know what? We'll bring the toys out of the box, shall we?
Yeah.
And as a mechanism for creating new models, or releasing new products, adding to the lore, it's a great mechanism within the story of the Tyranids. To allow people to be creative, to say, well, they had something similar to a gene stealer, but it didn't do so well. So this is what I've kit bashed for my army, because it was because it faced these difficulties. I think Tyranids give, apart from perhaps orcs, give you probably the most potential for your kit bash.
Have you played Mass Effect? Any of you guys? Like, it is so obviously you got the my brain's gone to sleep. The Reapers, and there's like thousands of Reapers in the center of the galaxy, and they are supposedly each one is made in the sort of image of the pinnacle of the so when they come out like every 50,000 years, and whatever is the most dominant species in that 50,000 year cycle, they make the Reaper in the form of it, and then you see like the Reaper fleet at the edge of space coming in, and it's a horrible, you're playing this game that you feared for these Reapers, and then you see, oh my good God, there's thousands of them, and you sit there and you think, how many years have they been doing this? How many species have they knocked off, stored the genetic data, and gone, what, this is like the perfect species to turn into this planet killer? It takes an entire fleet to bring one down, and you sit there and you're like, what, this, it just makes me think, obviously Mass Effect came after 40K, so that's probably what the inspiration for it. But like you say, you take the toys out of the pram, so you've got these planet killing things that we don't even know about. say, Andromeda, say they've come from there, and they had something that's put up a more of a fight than like Space Marines and Chaos, and they've come here and they haven't needed to use it yet. So like we come out with this, Chaos suddenly Abaddon teams up with Rebuke Gilliman to take down Tyranids, and they go, nah, mate, nah, we got something worse than you.
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's
with their
go on, Mark.
And with their evolution too. Sorry, Fishy. And with their evolution too, it is pretty instant too. We're not talking like they have to then wait several generations and lay eggs of several generations and slowly like drip feed this new genetic creation. It's like instant. Like next batch of eggs, we can pump out these new things.
Here's a slightly mind-melting thought. Tyranids running Jurassic Park.
Done. Yeah, that
God,
one.
no. Welcome to Termagant Park.
Damn.
But you wouldn't have all the rubbish about having to get DNA out of ancient or prehistoric mosquitoes and all that. Oh no, just the hive mind just decided this is what a Tyrannosaurus Rex looks like.
I'd love to see, the guys who do Space Kings and then they do like the shorts, the really messed up shorts, flash kits. I'd love to see them do one, and it's just like the old guy, Richard Attenborough, walking in to the lab, and it's just a Tyranid on the table, and he's like, I need that DNA out of it now.
just Richard Attenborough being like having his head ripped off by Termagant. Immediately after saying, "Welcome to Tyranid Park."
For sure.
Oh, I've only just realised though, a Catachan, Robert Muldoon, saying "clever girl" to a Hive Tyrant.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I'm copyrighting this. No one else. If you listen to this, I've copyrighted it. It's mine.
You need Steve Irwin, to be presenting the different Tyranid species. Like, all right, guys, this is a Termagant. We're going to sneak up behind it. They have a little gun, and if that hits you, it's going to bore into your flesh. We got it.
And it's just him dying it to every Tyranid species over and over. And then they create a clone of them. But that's a different fantasy of ours, I think.
Yeah. So
good one. I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to move on swiftly from Steve Irwin's passing away because that scar will never heal.
No, definitely not.
Gone but not forgotten.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So, Forgotten Species. Many of the Magos biologists. There we go. Many of the major Magos biologists who claim to be experts in the true nature of the Tyranid threat believe that the Tyranids of Behemoth were not the first to enter our galaxy. They were merely the first to arrive in large numbers. Archaeological evidence indicates that there were potential Tyranid contacts long before the 41st millennia. We can only speculate whether these contacts were from proto-Hive Fleets, a long-range scouting force, or even creatures fleeing ahead of the oncoming Tyranid fleets. Magos biologist G. Dubu.
What a silly name.
Hang on. Please, someone tell me that wasn't someone just saying, yeah, it's a biologist called G Dub.
It was, yeah.
And then they just added
like I said, this was done as a kind of a joke that made it into the lore. These creatures, so I think.
Yeah.
So,
Forgotten Fleets was a concept inspired by an excerpt from Codex Tyranids. 6 Games Workshop hobbyists created their own Tyranid creatures using existing Games Workshop models, and then wrote background details to go with them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures Mark's got, and I did have a quick nosy before. A lot of those models are metal, which shows obviously how far back it was. Like, imagine having to kit bash metal, man. Like, I couldn't I can sort of kit bash plastic a little bit because obviously you can just like melt it and stuff. But trying to kit bash fine cast, sod that.
Oh man, but pewter's so soft. You can cut it right with that X-Acto knife, and if you're lucky, you won't cut your finger off.
Yeah, I'm not that sort of lucky.
No. Stick to the plastic then for now, my friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into the first creature here. It's called the Rambling Snapper. I'll pull up a little picture here, and I got a colorized version of it too that AI's worked on that I'll pull on in a second.
So, rambling snappers are monstrous bioforms bred for worlds where lesser organisms perish. Their immense bodies conceal a disturbing silence, allowing these hulking predators to advance through hostile terrain almost unseen. When the hunt begins, the creatures accelerates with terrifying suddenness, its mass becoming a living battering ram. Victims are crushed beneath its advancing bulk before its colossal talons descend, ripping through flesh, armor, and bone with brutal efficiency. Yet the snapper possesses an inherent weakness. Its towering, top-heavy anatomy makes sudden changes in direction awkward, leaving it vulnerable after committing to its charge. Those who recognize the danger may evade the initial impact, but survival depends upon exploiting that fleeting moment. Once momentum is gained, the beast becomes an advancing avalanche of chitin muscles and claws, relentlessly seeking its next victim. Yeah, so it's like a rhino.
Howdy. Yeah, just kind of rushes at you. It's got its big like claws and a weird scorpion tail on it. What a creature!
Yeah, that thing coming at you would like I'd shit my pants, 100%.
I love the idea though. It's the only way to beat this is in effect like bull dancing, bullfighting. You just have to move out of the way with a red flag or something.
Yeah, if we can just go back to my Steve Irwin idea, can you just imagine him like engaging with it, trying to give it a shot? You know, like so I have this rambling snapper, and today it's vaccine day, and he's like there like, with a little, he's like there matadoring it, and then instead of skewering it with a knife, with a sword, he's like, right, and I got the shot into it, and it's just afterwards, it's just him sat there patting it like, good boy, good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, I think we really hit something. AI can make this happen. Somebody needs to do that with an AI video generator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what do we know about this cute little thing? Yeah, they're these weird, cute, disgusting little things, these creatures who are going to get into. Then we don't have too much information, only really a paragraph of information on any of them. And like they were never even supposed to be anything more than this paragraph. So let's just enjoy that for what it is, this fucking thing. Man. The next one we'll get into is the Cromlock Dangler. Let's see if the image is ready for us.
That sounds like a nickname for something unmentionable.
It sounds like something that should have been on last week's show, Mark.
Yeah. The Cromlock.
Hey, Doc, can you look at this Cromlock Dangler for me?
It's short, swollen, and slightly to the left. What's wrong with it? They are predatory aerial bioforms that hunt the mountain ranges of Cromlock, becoming nearly invisible against the heights by daylight. When the world's sun dives beyond the peaks, they awaken. Their vast eyes pierce the darkness, seeking movement across the slopes while their passage remains utterly silent. They descend without warning, striking with terrifying speed and driving the barbed organ beneath their torso through unsuspecting prey. So this is just a clock dangler thing or whatever, eh? It's just comes out at night times, tries to stab things with its dangler.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm for it. I'll see if I can learn some new tricks from it then. Rarely do they remain to fight. Me either. I'm a lover in this situation. Danglers strike, tear away, and vanish into the night. Their reflexes allowing them to evade retaliation with unnatural ease. Smaller victims may be seized during the attack, carried screaming into the darkness, and reduced to the flesh of their young. The largest recorded specimen reaches 5 meters and carried 65 kilograms, yet disappearances of large creatures suggest Cromlock's mountains conceal danglers far greater than any yet slain. Thus, every disappearance becomes evidence of a hidden predator circling unseen above the peaks, waiting for darkness before the hunt begins anew. While the mountain passes fall silent beneath their wings, no census exists. For every slain species reveals only how little is known. Nice.
I love
Yeah.
whoever made this one. It's such a simple conversion as well. They've taken a pewter pterodactyl or pterosaur. They've added some dangly bits and a Tyranid head.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it still works really well, I think.
It still looks super alien. Like if that thing, like
Yeah.
if you say you're walking down the street and that thing swooped off a roof at you, like that is a terrifying like thing to come at you. And yeah, like you say, you can see elements of things that you know and recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very early fleets. Like this one, it doesn't have any chitin on it really, which is interesting.
No.
But yeah, you see lots of other of the themes.
Yeah,
of
and I suppose it with the story that's been created around it, it's saying because of its, it doesn't stick around to fight, so it doesn't need the chitin necessarily because of its reflexes, and all that good stuff. So you can make arguments for fair enough. Okay, it kind of works.
I like it. Fuzz says more eyes so you can see the best places to dangle from. Yeah, really perverted with it. Like the eyes are just searching for that perfect spot to dangle and then swoop down at people and poke them, I guess.
I mean, I will just mention, just for Lawhammer legal purposes, I'm a bit concerned at the suggestions that were made, and then suddenly smaller victims may be seized.
But like with Tyranids, you end up in like an arms race effectively with them. I feel like fashion is perhaps something that has been missed here, because imagine you've got these cromlech danglers. You're like, well, you know what we need? We need more spikes on clothes. So I mean, they obviously aren't going to take goths because they'll just get hurt. They've got no chitin. But like, can you imagine just right? And today, ladies, I have developed this hat, and it has a perfect cromlech dangler spiky defense mechanism. You press this button, and
yeah,
just a fashion arms race.
Biological arms race, yeah, perfect.
Or perhaps one, imperial citizen that one of these danglers took. Perhaps they were talking, reading Little Red Riding Hood and what great eyes to see you with, so they just immediately just evolved extra eyes.
Yeah
Can they read? That is terrifying if they can read.
Perhaps they were listening.
Might be. They almost who knows. Well, I want one or two for sure.
I mean, if they can read, then they're doing better than I. So now I'm just jealous. Next up is the
that takes me back to the old days when Mark said he couldn't read.
Yeah, the old days. I've come so far since then.
So next up is the Arenia Stalker. Arenia Stalkers are zero-gravity arachnid bioforms, armored predators that infest the asteroid TK421 as it drifts between systems through the Mordant Zone. Their existence was revealed when an Adeptus Mechanicus mining barge began harvesting the asteroid, its servitors boring a vast lattice of tunnels through the stone. In the weightless darkness, the Stalker spread its webbing through those passages, transforming the entire network into a suspended killing ground. 20 servitors vanished into its grasp. 2 tech adepts followed, searching for their missing charges, and were consumed as well, their blood drained by the waiting organism. Only the servo skull accompanying them escaped, carrying a recording of the creature back to the mining barge. The footage proved that the crew had encountered what the crew had encountered: an unseen predator moving effortlessly through the asteroid's hollow depths, its web-filled tunnels becoming a silent domain where every intruder becomes prey and every passage may conceal its waiting form.
Damn.
Ooh. Zero gravity bioforms. That's cool. They're just like chilling between asteroids and stuff. I can kind of picture them even being like Spider-Man to some degree because they can shoot webs or lay webs or whatever. So maybe they're shooting them across to another one and like creating these vast networks of webs that starships fly into. Like, fuck.
Yeah, like a literal webway.
Yes. But like, as much as I don't like horror, and I don't really play horror games or something, I feel like a Tyranid horror game on some either in like a deserted hive city or an asteroid thing, like where all the people are being picked off. That'd go so hard. That'd sell so well. Like it'd be proper terrifying being hunted by some of these things.
Yeah,
so,
they want you dead too. Like there's like predators that like will eat you if you're kind of in their way, or will eat you if it's convenient. But these ones want you dead. They want to eat you. They want to hunt you down. They won't give up. Like, yeah. They got 8 limbs on these guys, which, like I kind of saying, they typically only do the 6, so the 8's kind of abnormal. But it shows that they can do other body forms or whatever.
Yeah. So moving on to Debilothraxes. So Debilothraxes are subterranean, scorpion-like bioforms that haunt the deserts of Erakeen, remaining buried beneath the dunes until living prey passes overhead. Then the desert itself erupts. Their heavily armored bodies burst from beneath the sand with startling speed, striking with the whip-like tail and its venomous barbs before dragging their victims back into the depths. Their 8 limbs end in translucent tan claws, while their head bears the unmistakable predatory anatomy of a lictor. They sense movement through the earth and emerge with an unnatural precision. Their attacks are almost completely silent. There is only the faint whisper of disturbed sand, followed by the cries of the dying and the violent hiss of their remains disappearing below. Their poison kills humans rapidly, leaving little opportunity for resistance. Entire camps can vanish as the creatures drag tents and occupants beneath the surface. When the sand settles, only fresh craters remain, scattered across the desert as silent scars marking another feeding ground claimed by the hidden swarm.
Very cool. It's like a different type of Ravener type creature, just another underground burrower, perfect for any sandy environment like this.
Have you guys played Jedi Survivor? Like, I think it's survival. So you land on Jeddah, which is the planet. I don't know if you've seen Rogue One. It's the planet that she goes to, and you're not allowed to touch the sand. You have to keep hopping from from rock to rock because something is like in the sand pulling stormtroopers down, and all you keep hearing the whole time you're hopping from rock to rock is you can't see it, but you can just hear stormtroopers screaming and disappearing into the sand. And the whole time you're like dodging this thing, and it's like instant death if you land on the sand. And you don't know what the hell it is. You're like, your brain's going through all this thing, and you're like, what the hell am I going to have to fight? And then, like, you get to a certain point where the rock falls out from under you, and you slide down into this cavern. And it's something that looks like that, except it's got massive claws, like massive scorpion claws. And it's like basically got this underground lair, and you just see like the remains of the stormtroopers around, and you have to fight it, and it's like a pretty tough fight. But yeah, it reminds me of that, like the fact that, you know, it's just, you just hear these people disappearing, like, boom, gone.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, you never even know what it looks like. Yeah.
And the minute you do, you die.
Yeah. It definitely could have maybe used some grabby pincer claws on this guy, but this is still pretty cool, this little creature. Update 2 on it. Give it some crab claws, you know.
Oh, can you, where people do like the coconut crab paint schemes for Tyranids, this guy with coconut crab paint scheme would be incredible.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty sick. So,
I wonder. Nut color Tyranid. I wonder if Google will be able to do that for me. The chat bots will be able to. Here's a picture of what we're referring to. That kind of color scheme. Where it's like this blotched, splotchy, many dots. It's fucking tight. Yeah. One of the best NIDs for sure.
Yeah.
I saw how big a coconut crab is for real the other day. I thought they were tiny little things when I saw this thing. I was like, dear God, that thing is huge.
All right, the next one we got is the Colossus. Let's pull up the Colossus and what that looks like. The Colossi were centoid Tyranid bioforms that emerged within Hive Fleet Colossus, shaped by environments like those encountered by any other known swarm. Their bodies retained Tyranid familiar forms, yet their evolution had diverged into something profoundly alien. They could wield conventional Tyranid weapon symbiotes through forcing such living arrangements upon their bodies caused immense pain. Stranger still, they possessed the ability to communicate telepathically with other organisms. The Colossi claimed to be escaped slaves fleeing their unknown master, but their deception ended in violence. Their betrayal ignited the 50-year Zoroastrian Attila Wars, culminating in the complete destruction of Hive Fleet Colossus. For those Tyranid people out there, you might think that these are Zotes, and even just looking at them, they're very Zote-like. I think this might have been like the very first form of a Zote. It's hard to say which came first. You know, I wasn't there when they did these things, and Zotes were pretty old too. So it's weird, but like this is the same lore for Zotes and stuff. And even in their like they mentioned Zotes a couple times, but they also kind of mentioned that it is different.
I suppose you look biologically as well in the real world. You have so many creatures that evolve in effect the same answer for the same problem, but in different locations. So you look at the Colossi and the Zotes, it could be that they run separate tendrils and they just happen to evolve in the same manner.
Yeah, they were just kind of trying some stuff out across the fleets, just like, okay, let's try doing this way. And then you get this, and okay, I'll live with that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's the telepathic thing is a little bit like scary because obviously one of the big things with Tyranids is you can't really communicate with them. So like Tiberia, what's his name? The Space Marine chaplain, Tigurius.
Yeah.
He he touched on the hive mind and it very nearly drove him mad. But you separate a Termagant, like you've got a lone Termagant running around your planet, it's just basically a savage beast. But the fact that these things can like think for themselves and have the capacity to lie telepathically, that's actually kind of scary because like obviously if you brush up against that, you're going to feel the malevolence of the hive mind behind it. But also like if that thing said to you, oh yeah, we're running away from it, like you're like, hang on a minute, if you can talk to me, what else can you do? Like that savagery almost makes them a little less scary.
Yeah, there's some weird like ambassador race where it's like not fully like you're not talking to this like covered in slime hive tyrant that's like drooling and bristling with shit, and like it's a little more like
I mean you're obviously not going to engage with something like that, are you? You're going to like something that comes at you that's obviously monstrous. You're going to go, yeah, no. It's like in Bumblebee when he goes, their name is literally Decepticon. It's like, why would you talk to somebody whose name has deceit in it? But yeah, like if something came at me and started having a reasonable conversation with me, you're like, hang on a minute, maybe we have got this wrong. Maybe they aren't like evil, savage. But and then by which point they're already in your orbit, they're in your space, you're dead.
All just a lie. Interesting creatures. Here's another image of one of them. What I've been doing is they made this metal model version first, so I put that into the
nice.
I like that. It looks a bit like the lizard men from AOS.
Yeah, Seraphon,
definitely looks like a Seraphon crossed with like Yeah, some centaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Looked similar
By
to
the way,
these guys.
Victor. Oh yeah, exactly.
But that sort of
It's-
two-tone, a
it
bit of
looks the
colour and
same,
then
isn't
light
it?
underneath. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I think they're called Saurus, the big boys. That
Yeah,
look to
yeah.
be based on. So speaking of the Zotes are centauroid bioconstructs engineered by the Tyranids. They're heavy frames designed for terrestrial combat, and their minds shaped for a purpose far stranger than simple slaughter. Where most Tyranid organisms exist as extensions of the hive mind, Zotes were created to think, speak, negotiate, infiltrate, and manipulate. They served as ambassadors and gatherers of intelligence, moving ahead of the Hive Fleets and entering alien societies as refugees seeking protection. Their true purpose was far darker: to undermine foreign civilizations from within and prepare them for absorption into the Tyranid swarm. Their ability to survive beneath planetary atmospheres, unlike many space-adapted Tyranids, suggested they were also engineered for combat. Their six-limbed anatomy marks them as an ancient bioconstruct lineage, perhaps carrying traits inherited from the mysterious creatures of the Tyranids' forgotten home galaxy. They're just mad creatures. And to me, when you think of a refugee or an infiltrator or a diplomat, I don't think of anything that looks anything like these guys.
Yeah, but the thing
No.
is, he's different enough from the other Tyranids that you could believe. He could be like, "Oh no, I've had to run away from the Great Devourer," and you'd be like, "Yeah, that dude is definitely not a Tyranid, so I'm gonna let him into my door."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh look, he's kind of cute with his little stubby toes and stuff. Let's let him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Within Hive Fleets, Zotes could occupy positions of considerable authority, despite their status as engineered slaves. Yet buried within their biology is a contradiction the Tyranids could never entirely eliminate: independence. The hive mind suppresses the instinct through specialized slave hormones, forcing the Zotes to remain obedient extensions of the swarm. Occasionally, however, the connections fail. Some escape during distant scouting missions, while others simply break free of Tyranid control. These renegades become something profoundly unusual: Tyranid creations capable of existing without the Tyranid collective. Freed Zotes can establish independent civilizations scattered across distant worlds, often forming isolated communities with cultures unlike those of any known Tyranid organism. Many developed powerful psychic abilities, with approximately half of independent and renegade populations displaying some form of psychic talent. Others become mercenaries, selling their strength and intelligence to whoever can provide survival and payment. Eldar pirates have sometimes employed them, valuing their hostility towards orcs and their usefulness against other enemies. Such Zotes are remnants of a broken relationship with the Hive Fleets, abandoned or escaped organisms forced to survive through whatever violence and employment the galaxy offers. Yet the greatest mystery surrounding the Zotes is not their rebellion, but their minds. They are highly intelligent, technologically sophisticated beings, capable of manipulating other species through advanced devices, deception, and carefully constructed schemes. Their actions rarely reveal any obvious collective purpose. Each Zote appears to pursue its own objectives, suggesting that independence does not produce unity, but countless separate agendas. Some may seek power, others seek knowledge, territory, or survival. Yet one obsession repeatedly appears among them: the acquisition of rare and ancient technological artifacts. Whether these relics serve some hidden purpose remains unknown. Perhaps the Zotes themselves do not understand what they are seeking. Perhaps they do. If so, whatever purpose once bound them to the Tyranid swarm may not have been completely forgotten. Somewhere within their fragmented civilizations, an ancient design may still be unfolding, piece by piece, beyond awareness of both the hive mind and those who hunt its creations.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I'd be curious to know if when they break free, when they're become independent, if they still have the knowledge of Tyranids, because like imagine someone with all the knowledge of like I don't know however many millennia of of information available. Like you could say, say they decide to turn on the Tyranids, they literally could be like, hey, if you need this, like this will work, this won't work, this will work. Or again, like if they become, they just go for their survival, they go, right, hang on, Hive Fleet Behemoth encountered this, I know how to manipulate this one. Or to flip it on the on this other thing, going back to the Mass Effect example, they build the Citadel, which each species, each time it's been harvested, adds to it. They add to this design basically to create this like Reaper killer. Imagine if the Zotes are actually like a race that was absorbed that nearly took down the Tyranids, and when they break free and they're looking for artifacts, they're actually looking for a way to build this weapon. They just don't remember it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that'd be like you could create like your whole like sort of sub race or kill team or whatever around that, and it's just Zotes hunting down artifacts to create like this anti-Tyranid sort of anathema.
it would make a great story or series,
Yeah.
books, or it would be a great one for a decent game master, dungeon master to run as an RPG.
Yes.
That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
The other flip side of that is, could they still be obsessed with old things because the Tyranids used to keep them happy by going, look at the shiny. That all this sophisticated, but they were engineered to really want just the old trash that the Tyranids don't want. But the fact they were engineered,
well, that has no biomechanics in it. They just get them to pick it up. They're different types of trash collectors.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it says they're particularly hostile towards orcs. And obviously, as we know, orcs came from, is it quarks? I'm thinking of Star Trek quarks. The you know what I mean? The prime orc things. Yeah. So maybe the Zotes are an ancient species that was maybe involved in the war in heaven at some point and fought against the Crocs, and then like obviously they carry that sort of genetic hatred towards orcs, even though obviously orcs have evolved. But maybe it's like maybe they were like a mercenary race or something. That so we know Tyranids have been coming from another galaxy for millennia. Maybe for thousands of years. Maybe the Zotes were a species that at the start during the war in heaven escaped from another galaxy. They were like, oh my god, this thing is coming, and they were like, okay, if you help us fight the orcs and that, we'll help you. And then they just disappeared a little bit.
Gone into the wind. Yeah, I don't know. They've been around and they've had a couple different weird little lore changes, and I don't know. I found this weird thing and I got distracted with it. Weird little demon dog.
I was going to say little Nurgo pup.
I want one. Like that'd be a great little guard dog.
I wouldn't want it to go to the loo in the house.
Loop says, I wonder if they are seeking a way to release themselves from the hive mind, but it's driven from a biological level. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, and they're trying to find all this tech to just kind of release them, or
Yeah.
Well, I wish them luck on their journey. They're fucking hideous.
Yeah. But moving on.
Shit really stinks.
Yeah. But so next up we got leaping thorn snake. So leaping thorn snakes are horned subterranean bioforms, degenerated descendants of the Tyranid ravener strain, scattered across worlds throughout the eastern fringe. Beneath the ground, they become almost impossible to detect, waiting motionless until living organisms pass within striking distance. Without warning, the earth ruptures as the creature erupts upward, its head unleashing a storm of razor-edged needles before its immense tail hurls its body skyward. It does not merely leap upon its prey, but it closes the distance in a violent succession of sudden movements, striking before escape becomes impossible. Before escape becomes possible. Colonists and explorers may never perceive the hunter beneath them until the thorn snake is already upon them. It's almost like a the opposite of the thing that hunts you. I want to say Deathstalker or Lictor, the thing that hunts you in the trees in Space Marine 2, Predator style, that turns invisible.
Yeah,
it's almost like
just
the
jumps and
underground
lunges at
version
you
of that.
always.
Yeah. It's like the that one's above ground, this one's below ground.
Yeah.
See, these remind me of the chest rippers.
Yeah, that too, where they're just like, they're smaller than anything that they kill, but if they touch you, they latch, and then then you're hooped.
Yeah,
very cool.
That. Like, literally a living
Nice
landmine.
Yeah. The next one we have is called the... What is it called? It's called the Drakian brain slug. And they are parasites whose bioforms infest the dense jungles of Dakar. Organisms whose true weapon is not fang or claw, but the theft of another creature's body. They force themselves beneath the host skin and attach directly to the nervous system, feeding upon its blood while seizing control of its every movement. The infected become living puppets, continuing to advance and kill even after suffering wounds that should have left them dead. When threatened, the slugs retreat into the wound where it's created, concealing its body while extending only a minute minute breathing tube, allowing the parasite to pass unnoticed among the uninfected. Hosts can be abandoned and replaced with horrifying speed, regardless of the size of the new vessel. Ugh. Rumors claim slugs have deliberately... Yes, it's horror that these can just like drop you and go to another one just quick like that and just drop their meat suit. Fuck.
And the description you've just read, look, obviously that's, so you can't detect it. Like you pull your hood up a little bit more and you can't see it. But the picture that you've got, obviously they're quite big. I know that's because it's a model and you need to be able to visually see the model. But that's terrifying. Like you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, we need to release these codes onto a disc. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it turns out it's just a dude with like a breathing neck out of it.
Yeah, fuck. Can you take your hoodie down for a second there, friend? No. I need to see you take your hoodie down there. Fuck.
I think
rumors claim...
sorry, Mark. Go on. We can come back to me.
I was going to go back into read, so you go.
Okay. For me, I think the scary thing is the fact that, in effect, this thing just goes into your body and leaves like the smallest of marks. And that for me is the weird bit. Not that it controls
when it comes to it, like we're
like a deep hooker.
Yeah, well, like we're all good with the danglers. When we're piercing it, it's fine, but we don't want it to dangle on us. Pierce us. Fucking no, sir. Rumors claim slugs have deliberately infected Imperials bound for the Astromilitarium conscript barges, seeking passage beyond Dakar. Any suspected infestation provokes immediate purges, with guardsmen unleashing flames upon entire contingents. Yet certainty remains impossible. The parasites hide, migrate, and disappear between hosts, ensuring that every survivor may carry the invasion onward, concealed beneath flesh, waiting for another nervous system to seize. Thus, the jungle horror is not a creature that attacks from the darkness, but the familiar face beside you, moving without purpose, carrying an unseen passenger that has decided where its next body will come from. Yeah. I don't want that. That sucks.
This is what we were saying earlier of, you go through basic training with your best bud, you've gone to the conscription barge, you've served 4 campaigns with the same guy, and all of a sudden this thing pops off of his neck and it just goes inside you. No, that's not okay.
I'd rather face something big, monstrous, and with like loads of teeth than something like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching Invincible?
Unless it's stick shaped. as well.
Well,
Then you don't
yeah.
want to fight a big monstrous stick-shaped thing, but
I've been watching and rewatching Invincible, and the second Martian guy, the Shapesmith or something, comes, and he goes, "I am a human man. I was born here on Earth," and they all like clearly know he's not a human man, and they're like, "Where are you from?" Like that I could deal with. Like if the guy comes in and he's like, "Yes, I am from the jungle. I would like to enroll in basic training," and you're like, "Okay, this dude is clearly like got parasite in him." Yeah, but like the fact that it could just be some guy and he's like, there's no change, there's no sort of obvious, this guy's clearly sus. That is scary. Like bringing it down from the inside is like, I think that's like one of those things, isn't it? That if you're fighting a war, the enemy within is sometimes more dangerous than the enemy without.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what's gross too is like it is parasite, so it is like living. You are alive when this thing is using you. So I don't know how much of like you would actually retain. Yeah, exactly. Are you just lock screened, or is it like your mind's actually turned off? It's probably lock screen, and you're probably witnessing all these horrors you're doing, and you're like trying to scream, but you can't.
Oh, that's getting proper horror styly now.
Yeah.
If you're just locked in.
Again, that'd make a pretty good computer game. Like, you and this dude have to fight to get rid of this Tyranids invasion. So, you're going through, you're doing all these missions together, and then at the very end, like, I don't know, say your objective is to release the nukes, and at the very end, he turns and he looks at you and he like presses a button to self-destruct the nukes, and you're like, oh my god, this whole game I've just been playing into dude's hands. Like, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a mindfuck.
You said you were my friend.
You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
No, these freak me out. And I will say, just from if this was all from a competition, from a modeling perspective and kit bashing, how genius. I'm going to use a Cadian model to make my new Tyranid.
Yeah, you've won. And what did you do? You got a Cadian and you stuck a bit of green stuff on him.
But I think the next one coming possibly has my biggest vote for most imaginative model, though. The Gorzel Swamp Lurkers are colossal, heavily armored bioforms covered in spikes, lurking within the desolate swamps of Gorzel. Almost their entire immense bodies remain submerged beneath the world's murky waters, moving with eerie purpose on crab-like limbs that terminate in grasping tentacle claws. Only their many-eyed ocular stalks rise above the surface, silently surveying the swamps for movement. When prey wanders within reach, the water erupts. Bladed limbs explode upwards, impaling the victim before the lurker drags the remains beneath the surface and into its waiting maw. Damage that would cripple lesser organisms is simply repaired as the creature regenerates its wounded flesh. Yet even these immense predators vary wildly in scale. Specimens measuring 120 meters have been encountered, while survivors... Yeah, that is absolutely bonkers.
Stop that.
While survivors speak of lurkers 3 times that size. Hang on, 3 times?
How big is this planet?
These things are nearly a quarter of a mile.
You got this like... I love it. Yeah. And it's like an iceberg. You might see just like the little tip, but like all of it's below surface too.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between the Sarlacc and the Watcher in the Water from Lord of the Rings. So obviously the Sarlacc, obviously you've got the weird butthole thing on the sand in Star Wars, but like obviously it's got all the bit underneath the sand, like all the chambers and stuff that Boba Fett escapes from. So you've got all that, but then so like you say, the tip of an iceberg, but then you've got the Watcher in the water, and the fact that like it just sits there watching. It's got like a little periscope type thing, and then all of a sudden it just leaps out and grabs you. You'd be like, nah, mate, I ain't going near water ever again.
Yeah. Fuck that thing.
Shall we move on to brood crawlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crawlers.
So, brood crawlers are heavily armored clawed bioforms believed to be a grotesque fusion of Termagaunt and Carnifex traits. Blind and eyeless, they navigate through a natural sonar generated within their enormous claws, using these organs to detect prey, threats, and the surrounding terrain while driving their massive bodies forward. Those same claws serve as their primary feeding instruments. Though their mouths contain rows of razor teeth, their short necks and compact jaws make conventional feeding difficult. Instead, the crawler reduces its victims to manageable pieces with sweeping strikes, then hurls the severed remains into its waiting maw. Their greatest weakness is not physical. Brood crawlers possess crude intelligence, often reacting slowly to changing threats, yet their armored bulk and immense claws remain brutally effective against anything unfortunate enough to enter their path. Ooh.
It's so wild, this model. Like, you could tell some of them took this a little more serious, and then others are like, all right, let's toss these 2 crab-ons onto this head. Like, the fuck is this thing?
You know what? I like to think that if that thing caught me when it starts cutting me up, I'd be dead. Can you imagine it just snipping parts of your body off and you watching it eat them? Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of yeah, it reminds me of the things from Pitch Black. You know, the first Riddick film where they're all blind but they use sonar. So like, if you stand right in front of you, they can't see you. But like, yeah, and it operates with like no eyes or anything. Like, that creepy, man. Stop that.
It's crawling around,
to me,
nipping at your ankle.
To me, it kind of reminds me of crawlers on zombies on Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Like,
I
can't imagine this thing move. I can't see this thing moving quickly.
No, because it sort of have to drag itself along, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't like it. I want 5. The next one we have is called the Horror of Ichiam. The horrors of Ichiam are parasitic psychic bioforms. Oh, sorry, this didn't load here. Load up that image. Are psychic bioforms, perhaps from the Tyranids throat strain. Alone, they are pitiful creatures, scarcely capable of movement, even through their own powers. Their true weapon is the voice they project into the minds of weak-willed humanoids. The call does not command, it persuades, infecting thought until submission feels like choice. Those who yield become psychically bound to the horde by a long tendril, driven into the rear of the skull, transforming the victim into a living. Through this connection, the parasite seizes control of and devours the host's psychic energy. As the horde feeds, it becomes increasingly formidable, radiating an aura of terror around, while unleashing devastating psychic blasts through stolen power. It can also flood its enthralled host with unnatural strength, turning its servant into an extension of its own alien will. Fuck, gross.
That's pretty good.
I think this it's worse.
Yeah. Well, imagine the whisper. So obviously, chaos, like, it starts as a whisper at the back of your mind. It's like, I can promise you great things. I can give you to the gods, and you sit there and you're like, you know what? Becoming a demon prince, that sounds pretty damn good. And you think that's what you're giving into. You think you're giving into chaos. You think you're going to be rewarded. And yet at the end of it, you just become biomass to be consumed for the Tyranids. Like, it's like all the sort of secrecy and promise of chaos with none of the rewards.
If you succumb to the voices in the back of your mind, the voice attaches to the back of your mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can feel,
It's
I can
karma.
feel the voice in the back of mine tickling me or something.
Yeah.
why do you think my background's blurred? I'm like, I don't want you to see the dude that's been like.
Oh God, he's got one.
I personally
Yeah,
think
this one's
it's
awesome.
karma for traitors and heretics.
Yeah,
It's deserved.
yeah, me with my 8 chaos armies.
Chaos is all a lie. You're all attached to one of these.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
Yeah, just Abaddon just goes, and behold, my latest creation, and lifts up a hood, and it's just that thing on his neck.
It's
I've
beautiful.
now got the image of Abaddon walking around holding it as if it's a helium balloon, and just no, guys, honestly, guys,
Yeah.
it's just a balloon. All right, chaos can be fun.
Fine.
Shuron's like, kill
That one
it
is a
with fire.
Weird one.
So the shelled slasher, shelled slashers, say that 5 times when you're drunk, are lethal subterranean bioforms native to the Imperial desert world of Drisden III, believed to have begun as Tyranid seed creatures cast from Hive Fleet Leviathan before adapting to their isolated environment. Their evolution has transformed them into armored organisms perfectly suited to the world's merciless sandstorms. Thick carapace shells shield their bodies from the abrasive storms, while their natural colouring and shell structure closely resemble Drisden III's native sand crabs, allowing the creatures to disappear beneath the dunes almost completely. To the Imperials who inhabit the world, the resemblance creates a predator hidden in plain sight. Once discovered, the slasher becomes extraordinarily difficult to destroy. Conventional weapons struggle against its armored body, while nearly 90% of the creature can retract beneath its shell, leaving little exposed to attack. Then the buried organism erupts. It launches from the sand with startling speed, crossing the distance in a violent rush of hooked talons and crushing headbutts. Every dune may conceal another. Every harmless shell may conceal a Tyranid predator. As Hive Fleet Leviathan approaches, the slashers remain behind as something worse than an invasion, a living population of Tyranid organisms already embedded within the world's ecosystem.
So
In
just
the
a sweet, innocent little girl picking shells, walking down the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, tiny shells.
Lupersal said, so it's just an angry turtle. I'm literally imagining, again, you can tell I've been watching Invincible, there's a dude, like obviously the Titan who turns into stone, and they decide to launch an attack on Machine Head, and this guy's walking past the window, and he looks out the window, and there's this like spinning ball of stone coming at him, and he's like, what the hell is that? And it turns out it's Titan just curled up in a ball, and Invincible's just launched him. So I'm just imagining a Carnifex with one of these turtling into a shell, and the Carnifex just like throwing it like a baseball. And it's just like, wow.
Skipping these things across the water at people.
just a Carnifex skipping it. It's like, my daddy never loved me.
or just imagine being a
These
guard
things
regiment doing an amphibious assault somewhere. You step on the beach and these things just pop up.
It's like, God damn it! They told us this was a routine job.
I will say the modeling, the kit bash level on this thing is fantastic.
Yeah,
how they've
that is
sculpted that
brilliant.
green stuff is
just
brilliant.
scroll up, Mark. Just scroll up to the non-colorized version. I want to see how much of it is green stuff. Like they've done a fair amount.
Yeah,
Yes,
all
yeah,
that texture
like
under
that.
the shell.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. And you can kind of see where, like, so they've obviously used a Carnifex head, but then they've used like just an armored body, and then I think they've probably put like Gene Steel or a Hive Tyrant arms on, and then like you say, they've modeled that texture, so it almost looks like tendons. I can barely make tentacles out of green stuff, so that is impressive. Like, I wonder if it's liquid or if it's the putty. Like, I wonder which would be easier for you to make into that. I'd like to talk to the
Not-
sculptor of this. I just want to know like how he's done
Yeah.
that.
That one was made by Adam Bjornholm, actually. So you can go hunt that guy down.
Fingers, I probably will.
You
spend
can
the rest
find
of
your
the
ass.
trying to find him.
Right, chat. We're on the hunt for this man. Find him. Bring him to us.
Yeah. Yeah, just Instagram.
All right. Well, that
story.
kind of covered all of the confirmed left behind forgotten species that kind of was a part of this project that they were doing. We got a couple of the categories we'll go through, like extinct species. So these are ones that we know were Tyranids, but now definitely were no longer like around. And then we also got unknown as well. So we'll cover those two categories and get a couple more creatures in.
Yeah, so many Tyranid bioforms are temporary creations, emerging to fulfill a specific purpose before vanishing when that adaptation is no longer required. Countless evolutionary branches have likely died out entirely, their forms abandoned by the hive mind as newer and more effective organisms replace them. Yeah, like you say, like they've got an infinite store, so they're not always going to have all of them out to play. Plus, like you say, GW, you know, they are a model making company. It gives them the ability to just go, you know what, we're going to release this and say, yeah, this was forgotten from like 20, you know, it's like M40, M39, whatever, you know. So it's a pretty good marketing method.
Yeah, it's a little trick for sure. I like it. First one we got is called the digester macrobes, and we don't have a picture of it because it's pretty tiny. Digester macrobes are specialized Tyranid bioforms engineered to consume specific materials and reduce them into nutrients the greater swarm can exploit. They infest the vast Tyranids of Tyranid ships, constantly moving through the living vessel by slithering, crawling, or taking flight whenever their acute senses detect substance they require. Nothing is safe from the hunger, armor, machinery, equipment. Everything is consumed. It's weird that the extinct species, you'd think this would be almost like an essential one, but maybe they just have a different version of it, or
it could be that the other Tyranids just have now evolved to be able to digest those other things.
Or it could be like worker larvae or something. So if you imagine inside, like if you imagine the Tyranid ships, because obviously the ships are themselves living creatures. This is like maybe it's like their gut bacteria, like the equivalent of their gut bacteria. So like when you're playing Mass Effect 2, you go into the collector ship and it's there all bugs and stuff, and you do see in the background, so you can't engage in them, but you do see like little flying creatures in the background, sort of harvesting people, like doing all the sort of like worker style stuff, all the worker drone stuff. Like I say, you don't engage with them; they're just there for like background flavor, because obviously, you know, walking through a level with nothing would be pretty good. But like, I have to say, you know, sometimes when I have a bad stomach, like I can imagine that these are them. It's just like, oh no, my digester macrobes haven't digested that kebab nearly quick enough.
You gotta stop eating. You gotta stop eating left behind war material. Stop eating left behind magazines.
No, you don't get a belly like this without eating. You don't get a belly like this without eating like left behind scraps.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
The best seasoning for any food is cordite. What can I say? Although perhaps they're extinct because someone from the Inquisition managed to like put a deworming tablet into a Tyranid and then just wormed the Tyranids.
Just like a giant worming tablet being fired by the thing into the ship.
But it was wrapped in a massive piece of ham, so it would eat it.
That's the sort of thing that the future armor crew would agree to deliver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good news, everyone. We're going to deworm this invasive species.
So next up is foot spikers, which are living weapons embedded throughout the passageways of Tyranid hive ships. burrowing deep beneath the flooring until only a thin serpentine tendril remains exposed. The tendril appears insignificant until something steps upon it. Then the buried bioform erupts. Muscular tissue drives iron-hard spines violently upward through the victim, injecting lethal neurotoxins directly into the bloodstream. A Space Marine's engineered physiology can resist the poison, but the puncturing damage leaves even such warriors slowed and vulnerable. For ordinary humans, there is no such resistance. The toxic spreads rapidly, overwhelming the body as the hidden creature withdraws once more beneath the living floor, leaving only its lure behind for the next passing victim. It's a living landmine.
Yeah, if you're gonna walk,
Kinda, yeah.
like, board a Tyranid, I forget what they're called, the big ones, but if you're gonna board one, say, you know, like the Iron Warriors, they got the obliterator virus, and they sort of adapted it for a Tyranid to make like Tyranids and things. You almost have to walk with just flamers in front of you, which are obviously you're going to run out of like fuel eventually, but you've just got to basically, you can't trust, like, you look at the floor and you're like, is that floor safe, is that floor not, like, you cannot just walk along, like everything wants to eat you.
Yeah, get the flamer for sure. That's all you can do.
Brother, get the heavy flamer.
For even the floor lives.
So, grabber slashers are another one. So they are a medium-sized Tyranid assassin bioform, rarely exceeding the height of a human, yet engineered for a purpose far more precise than their modest stature suggests. That is ugly. Their most grotesque feature is a gigantic hand rising above the head, an oversized killing appendage designed to seize the skulls of their prey. Beneath it, the head merges almost seamlessly into the shoulders, concealing a maw of razor teeth. Powerful legs and a muscular tail allow the creature to launch itself across enormous distances, closing upon its chosen victim in a single violent leap. Two smaller arms assist the attack, while a hardened spike projecting from between the legs is driven into a captured prey, tearing the victim apart. Unlike most Tyranid organisms, the grabber slasher possesses a disturbing capacity for biological adaptation. By consuming other creatures, it absorbs their genetic information and slowly reshapes its own body into forms better suited to its mission. This ability originates from orcoid genetic material incorporated into its design. Symbiotic algae within its blood break down the genetic information of consumed organisms and disperse it throughout the creature's biomass. Over time, its body can become something new, tailored by whatever it has devoured. Yet the transformation is temporary. Given roughly a day, the organism can deliberately return to its original configuration. Its orcoid ancestry is visible elsewhere in its anatomy, suggesting that its foundational genetic pattern may have originated from orcs captured by the Tyranids. If so, the grabber slasher represents one of the earliest known Tyranid bioforms incorporating genetic material harvested from life native to the Milky Way. The hive mind does not unleash these organisms indiscriminately. Grabber slashers are dispatched to specific targets deemed significant threats, and once assigned, the creature becomes almost completely indifferent to everything else around it. Allies, obstacles, wounds, and other attackers become irrelevant. It pursues only the designated quarry and continues until that target is dead. Within hive ships, the same bioform can serve as a living defensive weapon, released against intruders threatening the vessel. Most disturbing of all is evidence that grabber slashers possess an abnormal degree of self-awareness. Reports suggest they maintain an internal monologue while executing their missions, implying a consciousness far more independent than that of ordinary Tyranid organisms. One such creature was dispatched to hunt Imperial Inquisitor Cryptman after his contact with the hive mind even, through an empath and Tyranid artifact. It arrived upon Kendrick's world concealed as a formless organism inside a meteorite. When released, it began its slaughter immediately, cutting a relentless path through everything before it, driven by a single overriding purpose: reach the target and kill it.
The
Fuck,
fact
these
this thing
things are
has a
hideous, eh?
yeah, they're hideous, and they've got an internal monologue.
Yeah.
That's just not okay.
I have to say, for what it does, the way it does it, and that it doesn't. I wouldn't expect it to look like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd expect it to look a bit more sophisticated. But yeah, it's interesting that.
How would you
it's
describe this? Like a mutated fetus thing? Like, ugh.
I'm imagining basically an orc arm and head stuck onto a crab. Like looking at that, but like it is pretty cool that you can just fire a meteorite, and then that thing will just keep killing until it's brought down or it's taken its target out. But like you say, the internal monologue is terrifying. Like, it's just, all I'm just getting is must kill, must kill. Oh, no, he's in the way. Must kill. Oh, must get around.
No.
Like,
Deep
that
philosophy.
is.
Yeah.
It knows the secrets of the universe.
Why have I got Patrick Stewart's voice saying the monologue? From The Small Child, I think it's in is it American Dad or Family Guy? You know, and it's Patrick Stewart's voice. I've just got that sort of level of, why am I here?
But like, I'm just imagining it. Can you like opera singing in its head, and it's just da 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 da.
Killing frenzy.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but that's perhaps why they became extinct, because they're showing that level of independence from the
it's a
Tyranids.
weird thing to put independence on, though. Like, some of the other stuff I'd say need it a bit more.
But then it sort of makes sense if they're being used as fire and forget assassination tools to be able to work without the Hive Fleet. Yeah, that sort of makes sense.
But then I just don't like how ugly it is.
Twitchy. Yeah.
Fucking twitchy creature for sure. We gotta move past it. Get it off my screen. Fucking gross. The next one we got is the Hive Lord, described in first edition Rogue Trader Warhammer 40k rulebook as the acting agents of the Hive Fleet's ultimate ruler, which were then called Hive Tyrants, but fulfilled the role of Norn Queens. They were analogous to modern Hive Tyrants. So basically, Hive Lords was just an old, outdated name. We've showed like old Tyranid artwork before, and maybe you could like make the distinction like this would be a Hive Lord as opposed to, you know, the modern Hive Tyrant. But doesn't matter. Here nor there.
Next up is Mind Slavers and Slaves. Mind Slavers begin life as a parasitic larval organism, feeding upon captives taken by the Tyranids. The creature burrows into the victim's skull, seeking the brainstem where its legs lock around the neural structure and anchor the parasite directly against the base of the brain. At first, its influence is weak, but as the Mind Slaver feeds upon the host's bloodstream, it grows stronger, spreading its control through the higher functions of the brain until thought, instinct, and action all become extensions of the hive mind. These victims become mind slaves, their bodies preserved as weapons while their individuality is erased. When a Tyranid vessel comes under attack, mind slaves are often among the first offenders to respond. Their former skills are simply repurposed. Warriors of the other species become living weapons serving the swarm, turning against their own kind without hesitation. Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Imperial Guardsmen, Orcs, and Eldar have all become unwilling instruments of the hive mind, forcing invaders to fight not merely Tyranids, but the stolen warriors of countless conquered species. It takes living weapons to a whole different level.
Yeah, that's wild. That's so cool. Like, so now it's too bad that these are extinct, but for the sake of this, like you could make a whole cool like Tyranid Space Marine Defender army. If you're looking at the screen right now, I scrolled down and seen this little guy, and you almost want to just take a bunch of like Nurgle parts and then some Tyranid parts and like make this weird Tyranid mind slave creature.
Yeah.
That is cool. That's a good kit batch.
Yeah. And the whole idea, we've seen quite a bit of the parasitic mind control among the Tyranids with, you know, some of the lesser known species, some of the forgotten species, and now the extinct ones.
Yeah.
And I think I do feel like out of every race that we know of within 40k, the Tyranids are probably the best for it. But it does slightly go against the we just want biomass.
But it is
But
interesting.
if you're defending.
Like, if you look at the scale, so mind slaves, obviously, it's terrifying. But like this is at the grim, dark sort of end of mind slaves. Whereas in Futurama, you've got the brain slugs, the little like the little things that they put on the boat. That's like your almost comedy element. So you can kind of imagine, like, you know, we've talked about how Tyranids lend themselves very well to you know, to horror and grim dark and that. You can actually imagine some sort of like comedy sitcom, and it's just Tyranid mind slaves all living together trying to like achieve goals, and it's just got the sort of slapstick humor of the Three Stooges. And it's like, I told you we needed to assassinate the president, and it's like, well, what did you think I was doing? Like, it make for quite a good little, you know, at the opposite end of the spectrum. So it's it's not all gross, and you know, it's like like you say, you can do what you want with them. So that guy like is obviously a very grim dark kit bash. So you can imagine when you paint it, you're going to paint it very grim dark. But equally, you know how sometimes you get like, you know, you got the Angron clown kit bash. How somebody's like kit bashed Angron into a giant clown. You could almost do like a mind slave thing and just make them really silly. And like, you know what I mean? Like Tyranids are very, there's no sort of right way to do them. There's so many different ways to do them. Yeah. And like the only reason I haven't sort of collected Tyranids is because I have so many other armies that I've got to focus on that I just don't want to get sucked into that hole, because I know that I'll just end up sort of down a rabbit hole with them.
Yeah. I also love the idea, now you've mentioned the comical side, I love the idea of some mind slavers using mind slaves for like putting on theatrical shows and doing literally making mind slaves slap one another, and just like all the Termagants in the front row jeering, and you know,
that's what happened to Abraham Lincoln. He went to see a mind slave mind slave play, and somebody saw it and decided to rip it off him, and that's actually how he died.
I think this is kind of my favorite of this whole kind of controlling other species concept. Like, we had the one where it like is stealth mode and it goes inside of you and you don't know. And then you have this one where it's like, it is like, you can tell that is no longer human. It's like growing a chitinous arm and stuff. And then we had like the psychic vampire one too, but this one I think I like the most.
Yeah, it'd be a really cool army to do.
I just picture all the little parasites and stuff wiggling through this guy, and just like, no good, but good for him.
You kill him and just like little maggots and stuff reform his flesh.
Yeah,
like you shoot him and they just
It'd be a good one for a guard army. Actually, thinking on it, you just have little bits and pieces, just little hints of it throughout the army.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's different than the Gene Stealer cults in their models. I think you could use them and kind of kit bash some of them in, but like this almost seems like more nurgly, if that's the right word. Like more parasitic, more just like it's not just one species controlling this thing.
Yeah, definitely. So the next one we've got are Razor Wings, which are diminutive Tyranid bioforms bred within hive ships, living weapons designed solely to defend the vessel's interior. Their razor-edged wings transform them into airborne blades, swarming through corridors and chambers in overwhelming numbers. They descend upon intruders as a living storm, shredding weaker organisms apart while leaving survivors bleeding, weakened, and exposed to the countless other organisms that surge behind them.
That's pretty.
Yeah, they didn't have
nasty.
an image, but it's almost like these flying rippers or what they kind of replaced.
Yeah.
We got shroud spinners. They were living captives they weave living captives into preserving cocoons, suspending them until their flesh is required for consumption or genetic dissection. We don't have a picture of them either, but this is now like the second time this episode that they've mentioned like weaving webs and stuff, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. I don't think you really think of that when it comes to Tyranids necessarily.
I imagine being alive, being woven into a pod, and then staying conscious the whole time. That's just terrifying.
Fuck, eh? Yeah, and then you got like farms that are like breeding silk or whatever. Like they're breeding the Tyranid web and making material out of it and stuff. Like, ugh.
Oh yeah. Monetizing Tyranid silk.
Yeah.
And it just turns out this silk was made from your best friend.
I will honor him well and wear him every day.
So one of I think quite a few people's favorite Tyranid, the Squig Swarm, which is a Tyranid bioform, engineered from stolen orc genetic material. Creatures so alien yet disturbingly familiar that orcs who discovered them attempted to reclaim them, rescuing surviving squigs and recognizing them as their own. Individually, the creatures possess very little intelligence, but together they become a ravenous extension of the hive mind. They advance as vast, churning masses, consuming everything living in their path. Unprepared victims are rapidly engulfed beneath the swarm, dragged down and reduced to flesh before the creatures surge onward. The swarm does not pause to mourn, hunt, or hesitate. It simply consumes, separates, and advances towards the next source of meat.
Nom 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 nom.
So funny. There's no consistency for these things. If we're looking at the models, it's like one of them's clearly like a spider or what. These are so wild.
Yeah.
This was clearly GW going, I've got a load of leftover sprues. What can I do with them?
Yeah.
What can we do? Fuck yeah.
And just look how now squigs are just all everywhere. Whether you're talking 40k orcs, whether you're talking Sigma, whether you're talking Old World, squigs are just orcs, you know.
Yeah, but that is one thing that I'm not a fan of, like the squigs being like. So I love squigs, love them to pieces. But the whole thing, the retcon about the orcs' hair is squigs, like I kind of feel like that takes like to me, squig is the classic, basically mouth with legs, like or that Age of Sigmar game, and you see the and you see the trailer, and the dude's like in the mouth of the squig hopping around. Like that to me is a squig. Like I don't like the whole they are hair, they are their belt, they are I can't. They kind of went a little too far with that. But like I'd kind of like to see like orcs, like a Tyranid infected orc army would be quite good. So the kit bashed Space Marine from the last one. You could do that with with orcs and squigs. You could put like sort of like a Nurgle style parasite on it. That'd be quite good for orcs.
Yeah. So a reclaimed squig being reclaimed by the Tyranids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I think Squig 7 is my favorite here.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just like a chicken with extra long legs. It looks like an adult chicken legs on a baby bird body, you know? I like it.
Mr. Long-legged squig daddy.
Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah.
an old internet reference.
Like you said, they definitely just had some extra models and like, what do we do with this? Squig Swarm. So
I feel like someone just dropped some acid and just went for it.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so hunter slayers are another extinct species, but they've just been renamed into termagants, which are, as many of you know, they are just the sort of foot soldiers. Your standard, like if you think of a Tyranid, this is probably what you think of. But yeah, they used to be called hunter slayers.
Yeah, there's some really old Tyranid Termagant models, and like you wouldn't even really recognize them as their current form. Like if you put this guy next to that, you're like, okay, what the fuck? But
If I'm honest, the one in the middle is throwing me the most.
Yeah.
well, what about him?
Like, what? Why? What? Why?
He's got Roger the alien head, man.
Yeah. And he's just got a Chitin Mohican.
What about this one? Is that any better for you?
Nah, man, they need to feed that fucker. Like you can see his ribs.
Oh my god, what the heck?
I kind of like it.
Oh my god, it's so fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is mangled. Like I'm glad we have what we have now, because that is the stuff of nightmares.
It's like something ran over it with a car.
Mommy,
can we keep it?
I love how Tyranids are that, like, Tyranids are meant to be the ultimate biological evolution.
Like, and how is that Apex?
What we've
Apex.
What we've got is a newt that's been put in a box and saved, but forgotten about for 10 years, and someone goes in the attic and finds it all dried up.
Yeah, that's yeah. GW don't always get it right. You've got to admit.
We have two other kind of like species like this, but I couldn't really pin them down any further. Called the Skulker and the Coffin Crawlers. I'm pretty sure they were just early forms of Tyranids, but I don't say that confidently.
Just wait for the inevitable email in.
Yeah. And you know where that email will go? Right to Lorehammer. Yeah, right to the bin.
Yeah.
Also known as
Lorehammer Legal, aka Christian.
They'll deal with it.
So
sorry, I had to take a shot at Christian. just I'm listening to the newer episodes, and you guys don't bully him near as much as you used to.
Yeah.
That's because they've now got him locked in a cellar.
Fair enough.
I abuse him physically now more so than verbally.
Has he replaced Eric?
No one can. No, I just keep putting more in there. Just cram them all in. Yeah, whenever you don't see a host for a while, that's where they go. I've had to expand the dungeon down there.
That's why you're in Panama, mate.
No,
yeah.
So we've spoken about some of the dead and extinct. So now it's time for the suspected descendant. These creatures are suspected to be Tyranid bioforms based on their physiology, behavior, and similarities to known Tyranid organisms, but their origins remain unconfirmed. Imperial xenologists continue to debate their true nature, leaving them classified as possible Tyranid life forms rather than proven members of the species. So, not everyone knows.
First on this list is brain leaves or brain leaf. So if you remember the Catachan, no, not the Catachan, the Fauna episode way back, I think we're talking like sub episode 100. This is the you'll remember this. It's the predatory botanical bioform native to Catachan, suspected by xenobiologists to be a Tyranid organism severed from the hive mind and twisted by generations of isolation. Some believe it may share ancestry with a cortex leech, another organism capable of violating the minds of living creatures. known also as the grey vine or slave vine and recorded scientifically as Vinia catachanus dominari. The brain leaf possesses only the faintest animal intelligence, yet its crude mind is sufficient to command the living. Its leaves can detach from the parent tree and drift many meters through the air, propelled by wing-like undulations. Seemingly harmless, they remain passive until touching flesh. Then barbed tendrils will erupt from the leaf, anchoring into the victim and spreading through the body until they mesh with the nervous system. Once the connection is established, the victim's mind is effectively extinguished. The host becomes a brain leaf thrall, stripped of independent thought and capable only of the most basic motor functions. Even primitive weapons are often beyond such slaves, whose movements become crude extensions of the plant's will. The brain leaf uses these thralls as both shields and instruments of propagation. Anything touching the parent tree may be met by a mindless charge, the infected creature attacking with whatever limbs or appendages remain available. The tree does not need intelligent servants. It requires only bodies capable of moving towards threats and bodies capable of carrying its infestation elsewhere. Once attached, the leaf is extraordinarily difficult to remove. It remains upon its host until the body wastes away, after which the parasite seeks another living vessel. Extraction is possible, but the procedure is agonizing and exceptionally dangerous. A victim may die during removal, while survivors can be left with permanent nerve damage. Another variant appears as a grey, hairy vine wrapped around tall objects. When prey approaches, the vine reaches down and fixes a leaf against the back of the neck, its fibers rapidly invading the spinal cord and transforming the victim into another thrall. The brain leaf has escaped Catachan. On Necromunda, the ill-fated cartels Mortiafelli trafficked specimens to spire nobles, crime lords, and operators of fighting pits and blood dens. Infected victims became grotesque spectacles, with crowds gathering to watch thralls battle. Palanite enforcers of Patrol H Lambda Red eventually launched a massive crackdown, driving infected hosts and spectators into the pits and executing the final survivor to prevent further spread. The danger was proven in 879.M39 when infestations forced entire sectors of Hive Temenos into lockdown and purge, catastrophically delaying search lamp shipments. One escaped thrall.
Fuck. All those tank upgrades. We don't get searchlights on our tanks no more.
That's why there was that one tank that doesn't have searchlights.
That's why. Fuck. This whole time.
Yeah, indeed. But one escaped thrall could threaten production. Yet on Catachan, the brain leaf remains part of a brutal tradition. Members of Catachan Astra Militarum regiments race through brain leaf groves as a rite of passage. What the fuck? Deliberately entering forests where the vegetation itself can reach out, seize the living, and turn them into servants. The horror lies in its simplicity. The brain leaf does not need to hunt. It waits as vegetation releases its leaves and allows the infected to carry its will onward. Every body becomes shelter, every corpse a warming, and every grove a place where boundary between plant and animal has ceased to exist. Like, how stupid you gotta be? Like, yeah, let's run. That's like running through a cactus field naked with your balls like mildly avoiding the cactus.
Wait,
boys will be boys.
You don't do that?
Look, I know we're in a drought in the UK, but seriously, dude, you gotta find another form of entertainment.
yeah, that is low entertainment for sure. Those Catachan guys, eh? Fuck.
Like, do they not have a TV or a radio or something? Like
arm wrestling, even.
Yeah, they are literally just bored, muscle-bound idiots.
Oh, man. Yeah, what a wild thing. This leaf just falls from a tree and slowly kind of falls on you, and then Yeah, that's it.
I'm sorry. Is that parcel tape that they're using in that like model?
It's slightly genius, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I like there's some lines you don't cross, dude. Yeah, like oh my days. But yeah, like it is a pretty good one. Like you imagine you're just walking through the jungle. I don't know, you're on a research thing, you're going deep into the jungle to research something. You think, oh, look at this harmless plant, and then all of a sudden, just bam, that's it. You're pretty much dead.
Pretty much just taken over. Yeah,
Ew.
the brain leaf. Cool. The next one we got is the Catachan Devil. We've probably heard about this. We've probably even talked about this one before, but we'll give it another whirl. The Catachan Devils are colossal scorpion-like apex predators native to the death world of Catachan, though their killing power has carried them far beyond their original home. First encountered during the Great Crusade, these monstrous Whoa, I'll put that word in the chat. That one seems fun.
Exochthonic.
Exochthonic organisms proved so dangerous that the glaive super heavy special tanks weapon deployed specifically to destroy them. Even in the modern Imperium, the Devils remain synonymous with Catachan's lethal wilderness. Local guardsmen consider killing one a rite of passage. Fuck off. We love running through the Brainleaf forests and killing Kraken Catachan Devils. That's so wild.
Jesus.
While the Imperium has repeatedly attempted to exploit the creature's violence by introducing devils onto other worlds as living deterrents against invasion, attempts to train or tame them have failed. Escaped specimens have established nests across distant colonies and even hive worlds. Their reputation is so immense that Catachan's name, their deadliest soldiers, are named their most feared knives after the creature. Some xenobiologists believe the devil descended from Tyranid vanguard organisms abandoned by the fleet and forced to evolve independently. Its anatomy bears similarity to both Rippers and Raveners, yet generations of isolation and adaptation have produced something enormous and distinctly its own. The devil possesses a segmented body composed of numerous sections, each bearing paired limbs, terminating in a long poisonous tail that curves forward over its back. Growth adds further body segments and legs. A mature specimen may reach as many as 30 pairs of legs and reach 30 meters in length. Older males develop immense forward limbs that swell into gigantic scorpion-like claws. These specimens are known among Catachans as fiddlers, as they have the largest and most violently aggressive devils encountered. Their heads remain strangely small compared to their bodies, pointed and crowned with luminous green eyes that pierce the surrounding jungle. Despite their immense size, devils move with startling speed. Their many limbs allow them to cross any terrain, turning dense jungle, open ground, and broken wilderness alike into hunting grounds. Once prey is seized, the creature tears it apart with its razor claws, or anticipates it using the numerous incapacitates it using the numerous stinging cells positioned up the short tentacles surrounding the maw. Its mouth can extend outward. Fuck, I hate those things. While lateral mandibles lined with hard bony hooks seize and rip flesh apart before that remains are consumed. Yet the devil is not merely a solitary monster. These territorial but strongly social, forming nests containing several enormous adults alongside dozens of younger devil spawn. Though smaller and physically weaker, devil spawn can bury beneath the ground and erupt without warning, turning the earth itself into another avenue of attack. Adults and young alike can move through vegetation almost completely unseen, their bodies blending into the foliage as they advance without sound. When a nest is threatened, the entire population responds. Devils converge upon the intruders, regardless of whether they are rival predators, colonists, or Imperial forces. Their collective violence is so overwhelming that nests have been known to attack entire Imperial Guard tank companies. The Catachan devil is therefore not simply one predator within a jungle. It is a visible edge of the ecosystem built around killing, with adults, young, terrain, and darkness combining into one immense living threat. To enter its territory is to enter domain where the jungle itself appears to hunt.
Bloody hell. Like that one you've got, that artwork, that looks so Tyranid like. But I have to say, listening to that thing, for me, Catachan jungle fighters have always been a bit of dopey sort of like. I'm literally just imagining a bunch of Rambos. Yeah, it's Steve Irwin, but I'm literally
we found
imagining.
it.
Yeah, but I'm imagining
Crikey,
a
look at it's more.
bunch of random Rambos doing. But you know what? Looking at this, there is more to them than just the jungle fighters. Like I'm imagining now getting a tank, putting foliage on it, maybe having a Catachan guy hang off it with like, maybe a couple of Tyranid spores in the tracks or something. I feel like it's actually fleshed out the idea of Catachan as an army for me. Like this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they got a lot of wild things in Catachan for sure, and all the different little hunting expeditions that they do.
It's
their little
Space Australia. I mean, it's Space Australia for God's sake, isn't it? Like everything wants to eat you.
Yeah, this one is terrifying.
Want to eat you.
These things are cute too. I don't think I put how. I'll try to find it, but they're sizes of buses type things, semi-truck trailer type things. They're huge, massive creatures.
Yeah, you ain't
going. They're taking out tank regiments.
Yeah.
Like you've got to have like a whole Space Marine company to bring one of those nests down, I imagine.
Yeah, nasty.
Well, I think we said it that they get to 30 meters long.
Oh fuck yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bugger that again. Yeah. It's another thing that I don't want to come across that.
Thank you.
I want to go for a nice walk in nature, but once not get sucked on by some parasitic thing that's going to turn my mind into mush. I don't want to be ripped apart by a head with an arm on top and just a couple of legs. That's just chanting.
You came to the wrong neighborhood, friend.
Yeah,
and I recommend the Isle of the Faroe. Is it the Faroe Islands at the top of Scotland? Literally, just go. There is nothing there. Yeah. You will be okay.
So that's where I'm going if Tyranids become a thing in real world.
Yeah.
So the next
Catachan's wild. Sorry, just before we go on, Catachan's wild. Like it clearly had some type of Tyranid invasion beforehand with the brain leaf with this. Yeah, something happened there, but we don't quite know. So,
but it's interesting that they've developed on their own into like their own sort of thing. Like, obviously, Tyranids. One of the big scary things about them is they have the hive mind, which like that is a terrifying thought. But like I said, if you leave a lone Termagant just running around, it just basically turns into like a savage dog. It just wants to kill and kill and kill, or feed itself.
And something you can't even reproduce either.
Yeah, but that's mad that like you leave them long enough and they just become their own thing.
Yeah. Fucking nasty.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it almost makes you worried about. Hang on, why did the Tyranids leave again?
Yeah, what drove them off?
What is happening on Catachan?
Yeah. Okay, maybe we have to do some Imperial Guard episodes and dig deeper into the Catachan and some other ones, but.
I mean, can I also point out the cover of that book, the Catachans, compared to the same Catachans we've had since the 1990s?
Yeah.
There's some guys do artistic interpretations on the colors of some of these people in here.
I know.
Like, that is a very red-looking brown.
God damn 40K. I fucking hate modern 40K bullshit. Man, like it's always every fucking goddamn book is always a female on the cover and she's buff and I don't like her and I'm like fuck off. I've arm wrestled strong women and they're not strong. I don't want to see a woman carrying a chainsword ever again. That's just me. I fucking hate it. Drives me mad.
That's questionable.
dear all, we
that
now
is questionable.
know.
I know it's a very
like muscle mummies.
No, not a muscle mummy guy. Definitely like real dainty women that are cute. You can pick up, toss over your shoulder, and take back to your cave.
I don't
know, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes the new artwork just drives me mad. And we can come up with it's really not that big a deal. They're whatever.
That artwork looks almost AI. Like, I know it's not going to be because GW obviously have like very many talented artists, but when you look at some of them, they do look a little bit.
I remember that artwork from one of the codexes.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah.
Even this I don't want.
No. If
Only
if
this.
She can, yeah. I remember that artwork from one of the. I'm sure that was a Guard Codex one. All I can say is I don't want a woman that I know could fight a Catachan devil better than I could.
Oh yeah, like I don't want someone that is gonna be able to like cook me, like cut me up and cook me. Like I like being able to go to sleep and not fear for my life. I have had toxic relationships. It is terrifying that you have when you have to sleep with one eye open.
This woman here, then that will not be a good relationship. You will not be happy. You will not be nurtured or looked after.
Nah, my current
she might, in fact, use one of those grenades with a butt plug on you. Hard to say.
Come on.
I've never dated a chick like that before, but I can only imagine. We should carry on.
All I can say is certain grenade rounds are called dual purpose, also known as DP. One's to explode. What's the other purpose, guys?
Shit.
Any complaints about Mark, please send into Lawhammer Legal.
No, don't involve them. They're swamped enough. You could just send it to my personal email. I'll deal with you on this one. marksakura_hotmail.com.
Oh God, you still use Hotmail?
Because he is a Hotmail.
Yeah, man. I'm just.
That was low hanging fruit.
All right, let's move on to the next guy, which is not this guy, although he is fucking cool.
Is that? That's not Sly Marbo, is it? No,
that's Straken.
Ironhand Straken.
Yeah,
who is badass and has always had a stunning model. Not that I'm biased as a Guard player. So moving on to the Kraken. A very good run, by the way. Kraken are among the most colossal and terrifying creatures to haunt the oceans of Fenris. A mature specimen can stretch 5 miles through the water, while it's 5 miles. Yeah. Whilst its immense tentacles may extend 4 times further, turning entire stretches of oceans into its hunting ground. So this thing is 9 miles long, all in.
The fuck?
9 miles.
Yeah.
Their true origin.
I ain't ever going on no boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Their true origin remains uncertain. Some Magos biologists believe the Kraken are remnants of a Tyranid bioweapon left behind by an ancient Hive Fleet invasion. Others insist they are native to Fenris itself, creatures older than human memory, whose eldest specimens are said to gnaw upon the very roots of the world. Whatever their origin, Kraken remain violently hostile, frequently striking the ships of Fenrisian people as they cross the oceans during their migrations. Among their kind are the dreaded Ice Kraken, whose fangs are sharp as diamonds and prized by the Iron Priests of the Space Wolves. Boo, Space Wolves. These teeth are used in the creation of Frost Blades, weapons whose legends claim are forged from glacier ice and tempered with the Kraken's own monstrous belly. Fenrisian sagas speak of an even greater beast, the father of Kraken. One tale claims Leman Russ himself once caught the creature, only to cast it back into the sea because it was still too small. The legend declares that it has grown ever since, until its tentacles could encircle Fenris itself. Within the trophy halls of the Fang rests a leathery mass more than 50 feet long, called the Kraken's Egg. Its origin is uncertain, yet Magos biologists' examination has identified it as Tyranid, lending disturbing credibility to the possibility that the Kraken descend from an ancient Hive Fleet. Their danger is proven by deeds as well as legend. Arjak Rockfist earned his place among the Wolf Guard after defending the Iron Isles against 1,000 Kraken spawn, fighting almost alone.
Hold on!
So
1,000 of these things.
And if
1,009 miles long.
Yeah, if they're so obviously 9 Mile is going to be like your big old venerable ones,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
even a baby's got to be like 20, 30, 40 meters, something like that.
Yeah, even if it was Space Marine sized and you fought 1,000 Space Marine sized Kraken off, that's still pretty fucked.
It's like there was an old joke or like a question that you asked your mates. Would you rather fight 100 or 1,000 duck-sized horses or 5 horse-sized ducks?
God,
You
yeah,
know?
I knew exactly
And-
what you were going to say with that.
You know, but 1,000 of these things. And it's not like you're just like punching one arm out of the way. These things got masses of tentacles.
Yeah.
Also, why
you
are they on land? Like,
Why
well,
wouldn't they?
it's crazy. You ever see octopuses on land in real life?
Yeah.
They run on land and stuff. It's the craziest shit.
okay,
I see it here all the time.
So I'm never going to Australia. I'm never going in the sea again. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Or
just
near
gonna
the
sit in
sea.
my house, man. Like,
Yeah, stay in your room
fuck
for
that.
sure. Yeah.
Where were we? Yeah,
Just caught
so
up in
1,000
this-
Kraken spawn.
Yeah.
Fighting almost alone. Elsewhere, lone wolf Aj Kavara encountered a Kraken-like Tyranid organism on the ocean world of Lyces, offering further evidence that creatures of this monstrous form are not confined to Fenris. Whether native beast, ancient weapon, or divergent Tyranid strain, the Kraken remains an immense predator lurking beneath Fenrisian waters, where the surface hides a living abyss capable of swallowing ships, armies, and legends alike. The fact that Lehman Russ caught the biggest daddy of these, and if they're on average, say 10 miles long, he caught one that was 9 miles long, and it still wasn't big enough. Come on, dude. You caught a 10-mile long squid. Just calm down.
Yeah, how do you even start measuring that? Can you even weigh this thing and it's still not enough? You're like,
Water displacement test.
yeah, now they're talking.
But it's a great time.
Definitely can see.
Yeah. It's a great time with the sort of Scandinavian Norse mythology as well. But the idea that again, this is a Tyranid layover, that's scary.
I do like the idea, like the space wolves that lean more into the Norse than the wolf thing. Like, I think there's like that is a pretty epic miniature. You got to admit, like that is pretty cool. Like the kit bashing alone for doing more Nordic and less sort of wolf, brother. Like, it's. I mean, can you imagine?
Not everyone needs help.
No, but if you imagine you do like a knight that is allied to the space wolves, and on the base you could do like a green stuff Kraken tentacle, or you could even have it like on some rocky sort of outcroppings with a bit of resin water with a Kraken tentacle coming up and wrapping around the knight leg. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Fucking tight. Yeah, and it appears some of them have made it to other planets potentially, so that's always interesting.
Yeah.
But then you could have your very own Kraken. There might be one outside the house right now.
With the first magazine costing you only $1.99, the rest of them are $249.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
But for me, it comes back to this sort of what's it called, convergent evolution. So it could be that they're both Tyranid remnants, or they could be completely separate, but they've just evolved in a way that just leads to the same path.
Yeah, like you could have one that thrives in the icy cold waters of Fenris, and then you could maybe have one that survives in like the sand seas of a desert planet.
Yeah.
And they both look the same. They just have like different breathing methods or whatever, but they do the same thing.
Yeah.
They leap up and they wrap like their tentacles around ships. So like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. And the next creature we have, I guess we'll move past the Kraken, is the Grobula.
Grobula, mate. The Grobula is a titanic warp-dwelling bioform believed by Imperial savants to be a Tyranid experiment that escaped its intended purpose. It vomits clusters of mega spore mines into the void, where they drift silently towards ships and stations, transforming empty space into a waiting death trap. You can't even go through space now without being attacked by Tyranids.
Yeah. You talk about like micro meteors hitting like spaceships and just wrecking it. You need like some type of shielding to protect yourself from like these micro meteors. Yeah, all the spores as well that the Tyranids have released. You like just go through this cloud swarm and it just takes you over, and you don't even know it's there.
Yeah. So you've not only got to get a Gallifeel to avoid the warp demons, you've got to have a shield to dodge like asteroids and stuff. Now you've got like freaking spores that can come at you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, fuck. Well, we don't have a picture of it, but take a fart, take a picture, and you probably got something similar.
Well, that's just the spore mines. That's not even the being itself. The being itself, God knows how big that thing is. If it's titanic,
right. Good point. Yeah, like a giant space whale.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about the scale of a Tyranid ship, and it's going to be bigger than that.
Yeah, because those things are like kilometers long, aren't they?
Yeah.
Gross.
That's
very
actually
fun.
Quite terrifying.
Just imagine stepping on one of them and the squelching sound and like the pop it makes. Okay. Enough of that. The final category we'll dive to real quick is unknown genuses. This is potentially Tyranids, maybe not. We don't have it classified. So they possess a staggering diversity of biological forms, shaped and reshaped to survive almost any environment the galaxy can offer. With countless organisms adapted to worlds, climates, and purposes beyond Imperial understanding, there may be no practical limit to the Great Devourer's forms he can produce, making it impossible to catalog and identify them all. Yeah. And we only have one like this, but there's infinite.
Yeah. So there's a bit of an old word thrown into 40k again. The specimen of Jove's descent. Within the Xenobeastarium of Watch Fortress Eriok, one containment cell appears to be empty. It is not. Something occupies it, an unidentified Tyranid organism, so completely undetectable that even the instruments designed to reveal it register nothing. The creature was supposedly captured in a stasis trap during a kill team investigation into disappearances upon Jove's descent in 814 M41. The trap recorded an organism entering its field, yet the kill team could perceive nothing within. Finding no fault with the machine spirit, they transported the sealed device to Eriok, where it remains contained. The organism is suspected to belong to the Lictor or Gene Stealer genus, possessing some extreme form of chameleonic adaptation. One theory proposes a psychic mechanism that prevents the human mind from acknowledging its existence. Even when augurs and sensors detect the surrounding disturbance, that is scary. That there's a psychic ability that it completely throws what you're seeing. You hallucinate, in effect. That's really quite worrying. Another suggests the creature can shift itself partially beyond normal reality. If true, containment walls may offer no protection whatsoever. The stasis field was eventually permitted to collapse. Yet the unseen occupant remains within its cell, neither revealed nor escaped. Autosense directed weapons now cover the chamber, programmed to fire should the entity breach containment, even if nearby personnel remain utterly unaware of its presence. More drastic measures are being considered. Hard radiation could saturate the entire cell, destroying the organism in the hope that death will end whatever unnatural concealment protects it. Others have volunteered to become bait, deliberately allowing the Xeno to attack so its nature can be finally observed. The Chamber of Vigilance hesitates. Yeah, hesitates. Trapped between ignorance and necessity. Every moment of observation may reveal something new, yet every experiment risks releasing a creature that cannot be seen, cannot be reliably detected, and may not even occupy the same reality as its hunters. For now, the cell remains apparently empty. The weapons remain trained upon nothing, and something waits within.
Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Have you found it in this picture so far? Where is Joe's descent?
That's kind of creepy because, like,
Mm.
is it there? Is it not? Like, or is it just a sense? Is it just a sensor glitch? Like,
Yeah.
who knows?
For me, it's mad that
you're like looking into this like glass museum, and you just like know you can feel something's looking back at you, but you don't know.
Yeah, it's like right, like on the other side of the glass.
Yeah, you have no idea.
It slightly reminds me of Jurassic World when they go into the enclosure.
Yes,
and the Indominus Rex has put claw marks, and it seems like it's escaped, and it's in the enclosure with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They realize that. Oh shit, it's in there with you.
Yeah. For me, what slightly worries me and makes this clearly such a big deal, people are volunteering as bait. People are volunteering as bait because they know how concerning this is.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've got to do some pretty world ender shit for you to volunteer to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just flood the chamber with fire and be done with the thing. But
no, we can have a potential weapon.
Which,
like,
this is it.
That is the Imperium all over, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, why kill something when you can weaponize it?
The thing is, if you kill it, even if you still can't see it, you walk in there and
how do you know it's dead?
Well, you're going to trip over it, surely.
Yeah.
And then, if it's not dead, then just send in the people that volunteered as bait.
Yeah, servitor. What is my purpose? Go in and see if you trip over.
It's not tripping. Yeah, fuck. That's a cool creature.
Yeah.
The combined like psychic with it also has clearly some type of chameleon nature as well. It might not even fully be in this existence or this reality or whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, maybe it's like stuck between the warp and real space. Maybe it's sort of like one of those. Maybe it's like something that's tried. Yeah, maybe it's tried to sort of like come through. You know what it reminds me of? Weirdly, I can't think of the name. You know the crocodiles that you said. You know the crocodile things that just randomly spawn.
Yeah, crocodiles.
Crocodiles. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You don't know when it's there. You don't know where it is, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's there. Yeah, creepy. Yeah. I don't like that one. Which one was your guys' favorite? We reached the end of all these. Did you guys have a favorite little Nid creature?
The mind control-y ones, but it depends. So I prefer the one that has like the tube sticking out. Like that to me is more Tyranid in its flavor. Like it's a living organism that's inside you. But from a kit bash potential, the one that you shared with the nerdly side of things, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, the mind slave ones.
Yeah.
For me,
that's funny.
Go on.
Sorry, go Fishy.
No.
That's funny. Like I was gonna say, like that was probably my favorite one too. Is those like mind slave ones, but then it's not even Tyranid necessarily, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Just give me more Space Marines, essentially, is what I asked for.
Update Chaos Bikers. They've been out since like 4th edition, man. We don't need another Marnius Calgar.
Tell that to the Catachans, all right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's not go down that rabbit hole of how many Space Marines against how many new Xenos models are there.
I mean, I love the possibility created by the Zotes. I think there is so much narrative that you can create with that, with Zotes.
You could create again, the Lords of the Maelstrom, like you say. You could create a team with a Zote as the boss, and then you're right. You're bang on.
And you can use it as a narrative point for anything, whether you're doing if you're doing a friendly campaign with your mates of 40k games, or an RPG, or you want to come up with your own lore, you can use it as a narrative tool. These Zotes there from whatever planet, and you've done something with them, and it's changed something within a chapter or whatever. I think for 40k and the wider lore, I love the Zotes. For Nidness,
it is this weird way that you get to.
Yeah, if you do another RPG based on Zotes, I'm down.
Yeah, it's this weird way that you get to interact with the Tyranids, but not a reliable source of Tyranids. It doesn't have all the knowledge of the hive mind and stuff. It doesn't have all the secrets and all that, but it still is Tyranid.
And it wants to
get some of the flavor in. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Zotes are a good one. They're one of those weird ones where it's like you almost thought you would never see them again, and then out of nowhere, Blackstone Fortresses drops a Zote, and you're like, I thought that was so old canon, so retconned out of existence, but cool.
Trazen 100% has one in his library.
Yeah, the Colossi one.
He just walks past and chucks a few coins in every now and then, just like, here you go.
Pick your shinies. Very cool. Well, that was a fun episode. I love doing these kind of little random Nid episodes or creature episodes or whatever. Doing this one, I stumbled across one other episode of Nids I want to do, where it was like microscopic Tyranids and
Gene warfare.
Flora and fauna for Tyranids. So talking about like capillary towers and kind of some of these other, they have a whole bunch of these like actual like fauna, I guess you would categorize it as. So
yeah, like the biopits, like they're very much like the Sarlacc, they like, because obviously they drop, they do their invasion, blah blah blah, and then the biopits, they are fauna, but they're like cleanup crew, so nobody really pays them any sort of mind, but because obviously they're there afterwards, and then they eventually dissolve into themselves. But like you say, they are themselves, because everything that Tyranids do, even their bullets, are living Tyranids. So even the even the biopits are probably a living entity of some sort.
Yeah, with a brain that like chooses which to keep, which to not, like. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. So we'll get into it. That'll be another fun little episode. I think I think we're gonna do some. What's the Primarch after Death Guard? Because we're gonna do that after this episode. So forget what that one is. Whatever. That's what's up next. Yeah, after him though.
Ah, right. Okay.
It'd be the 14th Legion. Would it be? Yeah. Well, whatever. That's coming up next. So we'll see you all in the next episode of Lorehammer. Adios.
Cheers.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.